Namaste. You're with Yogi Moksha. I'm Andrew and this is Vanessa. Thanks for joining us today. We've got another 90-minute functional yin yoga practice. This time we're going to be focusing just on the upper body, so down to about the hips. And we're going to do that. Our intention in this practice is to approach this by working from one side to the other. So we're going to start working on the left arm to the neck, coming up the right arm, up the back of the neck, down the spine, coming round to the front, rectus abdominis, and then into front of the body, and finishing with a nice supported bridge. So that's how we're going to approach this practice. Usual basic rules or laws of yin. We're not working with the muscles as you do in other forms of yoga. We're working with connective tissues, fascia and bones. And we do that by relaxing the muscles and allowing the stress to pass to those connective tissues. Once we identify our target area, we move into our posture, we relax, allow the posture to open, and then we're still for some time. And it's the length of time rather than the depth that is the real secret of yin. So no need to force ourselves to our full capacity or the full extent in each posture. Maybe around 60-70%, and just maintain it for as long as we can. We hope you enjoy this practice, and we're going to start as usual with some breathing, just to bring some centering and some focus. So sitting cross-legged, maybe even sitting on a block like I am, somewhere that you're feeling grounded and well balanced. And if you're comfortable, bring the eyes to a close, or just tuck the chin in a bit, gaze down towards the floor or the mat in front. Just start to become aware of the breath. So initially just allowing the breath to settle, natural rhythm. Always in and out through the nose. Inhale, exhale through the nose during our practice. And now as we inhale, we're going to count 1 and exhale 2. Inhale 3 and exhale 4. We're just going to continue counting like that until we reach 10. And when you reach 10, start again at the beginning. 1, 2. So just continue allowing the breath to move in and out through the nostrils, counting the inhale and the exhale, all the way up to 10, and then returning back to 1. I'm going to continue doing this for another 3 or so minutes. Give you some silence so that you can focus. But as we deepen, just bring that focus inwards. Just a couple of more breaths now. Maybe a deeper inhale and exhale. Just getting ourselves ready for our first posture. So the target area is going to be the inside of the left arm. And we're going to approach that by coming off our block or out of crossed legs and coming into César. So I'll demonstrate from the front, Vanessa can demonstrate from the side. Again, you could remain in cross-legged if you wish, if this is too challenging for you, but if not, try César. We're going to take the left arm, so the palm forward, coming down towards the mat, the forearm exposed forward, and we're just going to find a place close out towards the knee where we can't immediately put the palm down flat. There's a bit of a challenge there. And then just put a little bit of weight into that left arm. So the right hand can just rest on the knees. All the weight is in the left arm. So our target area here is the inside of the left arm. You may feel it more down the forearm or further up. If your arms are a little bit shorter in proportion to the rest of your body, you can do what Vanessa is going to demonstrate, which is use a block to support yourself. Just put that under the palm. And just find stillness here. You may find the palm moves towards the mat. Just exploring that connective tissue all the way up the inside of the left arm. And also some healthy stress in the bones. So fingers, wrist, the carpal bones there in the wrist coming up. Radius, ulnar, maybe even the humerus coming up towards the scapula. And next inhale, just gently lifting that hand. And we're going to do the counter pose. So I'm going to turn the hand around so the top of the hand is going to come down towards the mat. And just finding that position, whether it's out towards the knee or a little bit in. So that as we apply some weight, there's a little bit of stress now in the outside of the arm. Again, you may find it's more in the forearm, others may find it's more the whole arm. Just finding the edge. As we try to do in every yin posture, let's try to use the breath to relax. So we breathe into the target area. And as we exhale, we feel the muscle in this area relax. That allows the stress to move to the connective tissues. And then we can feel that stress in the connective tissues up the outside of the arm. And again, a healthy stress in wrist, radius, ulnar, coming up through the elbow, perhaps all the way further up the arm towards the scapula or the shoulder. And just gently allowing the posture to open up a little bit. Always good to work with hands and wrists a little if we spend a lot of time at desks or on devices. A couple more breaths. Next inhale, gently release that hand. So turning back round as we were in the first posture with the forearm pointing forward, palm facing the mat. we're going to bring the hand back towards the knee, so it might be the hip. It might be a little in front or a little bit behind or in line with the hip. Again, if it's a challenge getting the hand down towards the mat, then feel free to use a block. As Vanessa's demonstrating. Again, just finding that edge. Use the breath to relax the inside of the arm. Feeling that connective tissue stress all the way up the inside of the arm. Stress on the bones. Maybe less in the bottom half of the arm now, but certainly still in the carpals, the wrist, radius, ulnar, all the way up the arm. A few more breaths here before we turn the arm around. Inhale, release, turn the arm around. So again, top of the hand facing the mat now, outside of the arm forward. Again, just finding that place where we get healthy stress, and just applying a little bit of weight down through that left arm. Using the breath to relax the muscles in the left arm. Maybe as the muscles relax, we feel the hand move closer towards the mat. As I said before, a great counter to desk-based activities or jobs, using devices where we've got the hands in one position a lot of the time. And a lot of the time in any form of yoga, we don't pay a lot of attention to the extremities. So just a few more breaths here. I'm sure we're all enjoying our bonus César time. On the next inhale, gently release the hand. So now we're going to move further up the arm. We're going to go to the scapula, and the way that we're going to target the left scapula is by coming onto our side. We're going to extend that left arm out, and then we're simply going to roll forward. And as we roll, we're transferring weight onto the left arm. Now you can also, if you wish, you can have a block to hand and place that under the left ear, or if you're comfortable, you can just come down to the mat. The right arm, generally extending that up above the head, will increase the stress in the left scapula. So just finding your edge, using the breath to relax. adjusting if required, going deeper or backing off if there's any tingling in the left hand or arm. And then just finding stillness to explore connective tissue stress all the way down from the left scapula, moving that away from the spine, then coming down the outside of the left arm all the way down to the fingertips. Couple more breaths here. Gently releasing, coming to lying on the back, so rolling over, just lying on the back for a rebound. Arms and legs relaxed. Closing the eyes. And taking our attention, as we do in our rebounds, just taking our attention to the area that we've just been working with. So we've literally just worked up that left arm. So open the mind to the sensations in the left arm. Maybe initially just contrast it with the sensations in the right arm. Do they feel different? How do they feel different? Perhaps that left arm feels a little more open. Maybe there's a temperature difference between the two arms. Maybe there's a sense of some kind of movement within the left arm coming up to the shoulder. Just explore the left arm in contrast with the right. Start to understand the effect of the postures on different parts of the body. And that allows us to work with variations. So just a few more breaths here. Maybe take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, just rolling over to one side, and in your own time coming back to our Cesar position. So we can do all of it on the right hand side. So our target area now will be the inside of the right arm. And again, we're going to start with the palm towards the mat, forearm pointing out, somewhere around the knee. Somewhere we can apply a little bit of weight through the body and just get some nice stress up through the inside of that arm. Remembering it's probably going to be quite different to the left side, so the position and the stress might feel different. Perhaps using the breath to help relax the muscles on the inside of the arm. Maybe feeling the posture open up a little bit as we exhale. And just exploring the sensations coming up through the connective tissue all the way from the fingers, palms, up through the inside of the right arm, even up to the shoulder. And a healthy stress in the bones. So the carpals, wrist, radius, all now coming up through the elbow, humerus, all the way up to the scapula. Each breath letting us in just a little bit deeper if we want to go there. Just enjoying that sense of opening up. Couple more breaths here. Getting ready to turn the arm around. So on the next inhale, just release the hand, turn around, top of the hand now back towards the mat. Still out somewhere near the knee, in front, behind, entirely up to you. Just looking for that stretch sensation, that stress now coming up the outside of the right arm. Yeah, if you're finding you've got a bit too much weight going through the wrists here, yeah, we've got the left hand here, we can always take a little bit of weight there, or just lean away from the right arm. Leaning in is going to give you more stress in the wrist. Finding stillness, exploring the connective tissue now, coming up the outside of the arm, maybe all the way up towards the shoulders. And still the stress in the bones, wrist, forearms, elbow, coming up towards the shoulder. Just a couple more breaths here, so maybe taking that deeper inhale and exhale. And on the next inhale, just lifting that right hand off the mat. Turning the arm around again, so we have the forearm forward. We're going to come back to somewhere around the hip, in front, behind. Doesn't really matter. What's comfortable for you is what really matters. And then just putting some weight through the arm. Feeling that stress now. A little bit more stress, we can probably lean back, take a little bit of the body weight behind us. Opening up that left arm. Feeling the stress come up the inside of the right arm. Connective tissue stressed all the way up the inside there, all the way up, across the palms, up the inside of the forearm, up to the shoulder. And again, stressing the bones, carpals, wrist, radius, ulnar, elbow, humerus, coming all the way up to the shoulder. Just gently sinking into the posture a little bit. And just a couple more breaths left here before we turn the arm around. So maybe taking that deeper breath in. Exhaling. And next inhale, lift the hand, turn around, top of the hand down towards the mat. Putting some weight down through the arm. Again, we're back towards the hip. And now feeling the stress in the outside of the right arm. All the way, connective tissue stress, all the way from the top of the right palm, through the wrist, up the outside of the arm towards the shoulder. Maybe opening up a bit as we exhale. Feeling that stress in the bones. Away from the wrist, forearm, elbow, coming up towards the shoulder. Breathing into it. Taking a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Next inhale, releasing the hand. So again, as we did on the other side, we're going to work up through the arm to the scapula, the shoulder. So again, I'll do it this way so that we can see. I'm going to lie on the side, the right side, right arm extended, palm up. And we're just going to roll the body over the top of that right arm. If we want to, we can use the block under the right ear again, or just bring the head to the mat. Using the breath to relax, inhaling into the scapula, into the shoulder. Exhaling, maybe feel the posture open up a little bit. Left hand extended, above the head. If we want less stress, we could maybe tuck that behind the body. You might even want to explore with bending that left knee, bringing that up the side of the body. With all these variations, just be aware of the impact on the target area, scapula in this case. Exploring the connective tissue stress all the way down the back of the shoulder, down the outside of the right arm towards the fingers. If we've got tingling in the fingers or arm, then maybe just ease off a little bit, maybe just roll back a bit. Allowing the breath to take us deeper into the posture. Got about another minute here. Getting ready for the rebound. Next inhale, just rolling straight onto the back. Lying flat on the back. Arms and legs relaxed. Taking the attention now back to the area we've just worked, so the right arm. Just opening the mind to the sensations in the right arm, all the way up from the fingers right up to the shoulder. Maybe now contrasting this with how the left arm feels. Perhaps before they felt very different. Perhaps now they feel a little bit more similar. Just noting any differences. And trying to explain to yourself what those sensations feel like. Static, moving, a little electrical perhaps, more of a wave. And just joining the dots together in the mind that these particular postures create this after effect in this part of the body. Next time we practice, perhaps we do something a little different with the variation. And we understand what that fine tuning might do in our practice. Taking a couple of deeper breaths and exhales. In your own time, rolling to one side, coming back to either a Cesar. So if Vanessa does it on the side again, and I'll do it facing you. You get both perspectives. So either Cesar, or you could just be cross-legged. We are going to be in Cesar for a while, so wherever you're more comfortable. And now we're going to move, we've worked up the arms, so now we're going to move into the neck. So we've done the shoulders to the neck. So we're simply going to allow the head to fall forward. Keeping the back nice and straight. Hands can just rest on the legs in front of you. Just allowing the weight of the head and gravity to bring that nice stress in the back of the neck. Again, consciously relaxing the muscles in the back of the neck. Maybe coordinating the breath to help us with that. Exhale, relax. Maybe the head drops a little bit further forward. So a nice connective tissue stress in the back of the neck there. And some nice flexion of the cervical spine, so the top of the spine and the neck. Really nice opening up the back of the spine there. So again, also good if we're constantly working at desks and looking at screens. We find that our head can be in one position for most of the day. So ensuring that we have a full range of movement is very beneficial. Next inhale, bring the head slowly back to the center. And as we exhale, just allow the head to fall back. So really opening up the front of the throat here. Again, we'll all have very different degrees of movement. So as we relax the muscles in the front of the neck, we're going to feel that connective tissue stress all the way up the front, maybe a little bit even in the sides of the neck. And some compression in the back of the neck. If this makes you feel at all queasy or you want to stabilise or dizzy, you can just put the arms down behind the hips. For some people that helps feel more stable. As well as opening up the throat, front of the neck. Really nice extension, quite a deep extension of the spine at the back. Compression of all the spinous processes at the top of the spine. And at any stage, if you're uncomfortable, just bring the head up a little bit. If you want to, you can always allow the head to drop back again. Just a few more breaths here now. Next inhale, gently lift the head back to the center. And this time we're going to go side to side, so we'll start with the left. So allow the left ear to drop towards the left shoulder. Trying not to lift the shoulder. Just allow the head to move on its own. Again, we're not pulling the head down, just allowing weight and gravity to introduce a nice connective tissue stress here on the right hand side of the neck. Might even be able to feel it coming down the right hand side of the neck into the right shoulder, even coming down through the right hand side of the chest or the right hand side of the body. In terms of the bones, we've got some nice lateral flexion here in the cervical spine. I even feel something coming down into the scapula. Just allowing the breath to take us as deep as we're comfortable. Next inhale, gently lift the head back to the center. Maybe a breath or two here before we allow the head to gently move towards the right shoulder. So right ear towards right shoulder. Feeling that connective tissue stress on the left hand side of the neck. Maybe deepening as the breath allows the muscles to relax in the neck. And just enjoying that lateral flexion to the cervical spine. Really opening up the side of the spinous processes here on the left hand side. A few more breaths, so maybe take that deeper inhale and exhale, and next inhale, bring the head back to the center, ready for another well-earned rebound. So again, we can take the rebound lying on our back. You could even take this rebound sitting in cross-legged if you want to. Just relaxing, whichever position we're in. We're going to take our attention again to the area we've just been working, so the neck. Just exploring any sensations present in the neck and the top of the shoulders. Maybe we could sense those sensations moving down the arms. In our previous rebounds, we've explored the left-hand side and the right-hand side separately. But now we've worked with the neck. Perhaps we can also just consider the left arm, the right arm, the shoulders and the neck, all as one. Exploring sensations that might move from left to right, right to left. Maybe there are sensations that are moving up from the shoulders, up the back of the neck, even coming across to the top of the head and back. Just exploring all of those sensations. Just being open to them. A few more breaths here. Taking that deeper inhale and exhale. And when you're ready, just coming up to seated position. So moving on for our next target area, we're going to be targeting the middle of the spine, the thoracic region, thoracolumbar muscular area. And we're going to do that by taking our feet out in front, and we're simply going to fold forward. But because we're targeting the back rather than the back of the legs, we're going to want to keep a nice curve in the spine. One of the most effective ways of doing that is to either, as Vanessa's demonstrating, use a block to just maintain that nice curve she's got going there in the back, or you can use a bolster, as I'm doing, tucked in and just rolling forward over it. So again, it's not about forcing ourselves closer towards the mat. The objective is not to get the head as close to the mat as possible. We want that nice curve in the back so that we're targeting the thoracic spine. So using a prop or not, you can do it without a prop. Simply fold forward. Your choice, but whichever option you take, finding that edge, breathing into the back. Exhale, feel the muscles relax in the back. Feel the whole of the back open up. Allow the head to drop forward. Couple of breaths. Finding stillness. And then just exploring the connective tissue. Stress coming all the way up the back, thoracolumbar, all the way from the base of the spine all the way up towards the shoulders and the neck. So we're just continuing that journey down the back. We worked the neck, now we're moving down into the upper middle back. Nice flexion in the spine. Thoracic spine is typically more about twisting. It's constructed to twist more than bend backwards and forwards. But we can still get some nice flexion there. And particularly if we're allowing the head to drop forward, we're going to get some quite deep flexion in the cervical spine, thoracic, and coming down to the lumbar. So all of these movements where we're introducing stress in the bone, it's great for signalling to the body that these are the areas we're working with. We need them to be maintained and strengthened. And with connective tissue or fascia, it's about letting the body know that we want these parts of the body, these elements of the body strengthened and lengthened. So we've got strong bones, healthy joints. We've got strengthened and lengthened connective tissue and fascia. And we're going to get that combination that we want around joint sites in particular of mobility and stability. Particularly as we get older, we can find that range of motion can be restricted. And within limits, we can help to counteract that by remaining active and strengthening and lengthening those connective tissues. About half a minute left now. Been here for quite some time, so let's take a deep inhale and exhale. And on the next inhale, just lift the upper torso, moving aside any props that you might have been using. I might need those for the next posture actually. So our next target area, we're going to move further down the back, so thoracic coming down towards the lumbar and at the front, the rectus abdominis. We're going to do that by coming onto our front. And we can start in what's called a sphinx with the hands in front, legs straight out behind. Now for some of us that may be quite enough. We're already going to be feeling some compression down in the base of the spine, perhaps in the lumbar, which is good so long as it's healthy and manageable. If there's any pinching or pain, then we might need to just come down a little bit further. And we're also going to feel some tension or tensile stress in the front of the body and the rectus abdominis. That's good because we're going to move through to the front of the body and then over the next few postures. So just finding our edge here, using the breath to relax the tensile stress in the front of the body. Perhaps as we relax, things open up a little bit. If we find we need a little bit more, we can use blocks or the bolster. So we could tuck the bolster underneath the elbows, or as Vanessa's demonstrating, using blocks just to elevate the torso. That's going to give us a little bit more compression in the back, at the base of the spine, a bit more tension in the front of the body, in the rectus abdominis. Another option here is, if we want, we could bring those feet up, so we could bend at the knees and bring the heels towards the body, as Vanessa is demonstrating. Hopefully you can, I'm not blocking. There's a final option, if you still need more, you could just come up into a seal. Again, here you can have blocks under the hands if you want even more, and you could bend at the knees and bring those heels in. So just finding what works throughout the posture. Maybe things open up. Just enjoying that connective tissue stress in the front, so the rectus abdominis coming up the front of the body, perhaps towards the chest. You could explore having the head back or hanging forward, or to the left, or to the right, all variations to play with. And we've got some beautiful compression in the bones, so in the base of the spine, the sacrum, lumbar area. Great extension of the spine all the way up, being coming up to the scapula and down through the arms if we're in seal. Just a couple more breaths here. Getting ready for our next rebound. Just releasing the arms, and maybe just rolling over, coming onto the back. Coming onto the back, just lying. Lying on the back, the arms and legs relaxed. Natural breathing. Bringing the attention back to where we've just been working, so basically around the middle of the body, so the base of the spine, coming around to the rectus abdominis at the front. Seeing what sensations, if any, arise there. Maybe some of those sensations are linked to our previous rebound, the middle of the spine. Maybe we can feel sensations moving from the neck, the head, the neck, the middle of the spine, down to the base of the spine. Just observe. As those sensations are coming around the side of the body to the front, the rectus abdominis. Now we're taking a deeper inhale and exhale, getting ready to move into our next posture. Roll into one side. So, having worked the lower part of the spine, coming around to the front, rectus abdominis, we're now going to move the sequence up towards the chest, across the front of the chest. We're going to do that with what's called an open wing. So, we're going to work with the right arm first. So coming to lying on our front. Apologies, my arm gets cut off. We're going to extend the right arm. And then we're just going to roll back onto that arm. Now again here, I find it useful to have a block to rest the right ear on. And just start here, just relax here for a moment. Finding that edge. Going to be feeling quite a bit of stress in the front of the right shoulder. This may be enough for some of us. We feel that we're a little relaxed, maybe things have opened up a little bit. If we want to, we can take the left arm behind, we can interlace the fingers, the left and right hands, or even as I prefer to do, you can grab the fingers of the right arm, just allows you to pull back on those fingers a little bit. And just finding stillness. If you want a little bit more, you can bring that left leg up, put the left foot on the mat. That's just going to bring a little bit more weight over onto the right arm. Exploring the connective tissue, stress down the inside of the right arm, all the way up towards the shoulder, across the front of the chest, and maybe down the left arm as well. Just gently releasing the hands, rolling back onto the front, coming to the other side. So I'll just turn around. And lying on the front, extending that left arm out, palm down, grabbing the block if you want that to support your head, and then rolling back. Almost rolling back onto that left arm. Finding the edge here. Using the breath to relax the left shoulder. Breathing into the left shoulder. The exhale, feeling the muscles relax. And either staying here, or if we feel that posture's opened up a little bit and we want to follow that in, we could bring that right leg up, so we could bend that right leg up, put the right foot on the mat, and we could take the right hand behind. We can either just have the right hand behind the body, or we can interlace the fingers of the hands, or as I said, take the left fingers into the grip of the right hand, and just bending back that left hand a little. So I just find that gives me a little bit more stress down the inside of the left arm. So wherever you find yourself, just finding stillness. So we've moved from the lumbar lower back to the rectus abdominis, and now we've moved up the front of the body, across the chest and the shoulders. And just gently releasing. I'm going to stay for our next posture. It's going to be lying on our back. I'm going to use a block. Take the block in between the shoulder blades. So you could start with one, If you want more, try not to use them on the narrow edge. If you want more height, just use more blocks. And settle it back onto the block. So again here, we've brought the sequence up from the lower front of the body up to the chest. As we relax back over our blocks, we're going to take our hands out to the sides. Either in a stop sign, as I'm demonstrating, or I think as Vanessa's going to demonstrate with the arms extended out to the side. Just finding that edge, breathing into the posture. Enjoying the connective tissue stress across the middle of the chest and maybe coming down the inside of the arms. Healthy stress in the bones here also. Nice extension of the spine. Maybe also across the chest and into the shoulders. So now, having worked across the chest and across the shoulders into the arms, if we stay in this posture but take our arms above the head, as Vanessa's demonstrating, we're going to get much more stress now down through the front of the torso. So we're across the chest and into the arms, but now we're going to come down the front of the body. So just a nice full front of body stress to finish before our Shavasana. So just noting the difference that just moving the hands can make to the posture. Maybe even the top of the hip flexors, rectus abdominis, up the front of the chest, through the neck, into the inside of the arms. Just allowing the breath to relax the muscles and open the posture. When you're ready, just rolling onto one side, removing any props and just lying on the back for Shavasana. So arms and legs relaxed. Maybe the eyes are closed. Breathing returns to just a natural, relaxed rhythm. And our awareness returns as it started in this practice to the breath. Just focusing on the breath for a few inhales and exhales. As we ease into our Shavasana, I'm just going to do a little guided review of where we've been today. So taking our attention to the left hand, as you bring the attention to any part of the body, we can bring some sensation there. So if you can, bring to mind in the left hand gently whirling, warm, blue light or energy. And then we gradually move that energy, that warm, blue light feeling. We just move that along the path of our practice. So moving from the hand, coming up through the inside of the forearm, elbow, up through the upper arm, coming to the left shoulder. And just pausing there. And now move our attention to the right hand. Again, bringing to mind, if we can, warm, blue light or energy. And just gradually draw that up the inside of the right arm, upper arm, coming up to the right shoulder. So left and right shoulders, warm blue light. Shoulders moves to the neck. Everywhere this blue light goes, we're relaxed. Maybe from the neck it goes further up the back of the head, up over to the top of the head. Just pausing here briefly, gently moving like a wave, a warm relaxation. And as we exhale, perhaps that sensation just moves gently down the spine, warm blue down the spine, the whole of the back, slowly down towards the lumbar, base of the spine. Pausing here, tension and the warm blue light at the base of the spine. Before we move forward to the lower abdomen, rectus abdominis, top of the pelvis. Just feeling that circulating warm blue light there. And then maybe as we inhale, we draw that up the front of the body into the chest. All around the heart space. Before we gently descend down the inside of the arms to the fingertips. That whole upper body just lightly vibrating with that warm blue light. Just enjoying that in silence now for a couple of minutes. And just gently bringing the awareness back to the room, back to your body. A couple of deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Wriggling the fingers, maybe the toes. Maybe taking the arms up over the head as a stretch. Before gently rolling onto one side. Coming up to a seated position. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. Head inclined slightly towards looking at the floor or the mat. And then just gently blink and open the eyes. Raising the head. Namaste.